Hello guys, and welcome to another ProfileTree video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at website design versus website development. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So starting off, website design and website development are two distinct but closely related aspects of building a website. Now, we're going to go through the website design first, and then we'll compare it with web development. Now, these are two different processes anyway, but they are both linked to the success of a single website. So when it comes to web design, website design focuses on the visual and aesthetic aspects of a website. Now, this involves creating the look, feel, and user interface, which is UI, of the website. Now, designers would typically work on elements such as color schemes, typography, layout, graphics, and overall user experience, which is the UX. Now, the goal of the website is to create an engaging, visually appealing, and user-friendly interface that effectively communicates the website's purpose and content. Now, as a UI and UX designer, it's very, very important to do wireframing. Now, this is an important process, as what you're trying to capture is the visual design. Now, you're trying to choose what would be an appropriate color for the scheme, what type of typography you should use, the images, and other visual elements to create an appealing and cohesive design. Now, this isn't a solid example, but this is more or less what a wireframe looks like. So this is the base spec and foundation of a website. So we've got our hero section, and we've got a couple of different designs on what we want to do it. You've got imaging on the right side, imaging on the center, or no imaging at all. You've got a couple of different designs on the navigation. Navigation is the header of the actual website. So you've got that, and then of course we're focusing primarily on social as well. You always want to have social media anyway, connected and linked to your website, as it will boost and gain some ranking, but that's for another video. Anyway, you've also got features left and features right, so this is more or less to do with what content will be placed inside the actual website. So that could be blogs, that could be clothing, it could be an informative type website, and of course, we've got our footer, our posts, and our pricing. So pricing would mainly be a membership sort of scheme, and this is more or less what it would look like. Now I'm going to give a better example on a built wireframe on Figma. So we're going to go ahead and check that out now. So this is a design for an internal website of ProfileTree. Now, this is more or less what we had in mind for it. So this here is the landing page or front page. You can see luxury, leisure, affluence is very nice and modern. Everything's connected fairly well. We've got dark mode and light mode as well that's activated on this. So this is the light mode, as you can see, and this is what the dark mode will look like as well. Now we've listed out what sort of fonts and text we're going to be using. You can see here you've got some information based on what you've clicked. So we see that the font is Enter and the weight is 400, so it's more not really on the bold side, not really on the light side either. It's more medium, and we need to follow the 16px, and the line height is 24px. Now what you're viewing here is very important as a web developer, as when you're trying to build a website, of course it's key to try to follow what the UI UX designer has built for you. And it's very important to follow the typography that's been used. It's important to follow the type of display that's been used, or the actual layout of the website. So from the luxury, leisure, affluence here, as we could see, I'm guessing that this is a scroller based font, so that should be scrolling. And then we've got our sliders here, so it looks like it doesn't stay as a still image, it moves and changes to another picture. So that's a couple of things that you would have to take in as a web developer and a UI UX designer. You need to have that communication between the two. So it's not more to do with website design versus website development. It's more of these two processes combine a built website. So that's more or less what that is. Now you've got other parts here for the design, and then of course we have our footer and we have a newsletter. So just the general stuff of what a website would look like. Now digging deeper into the site, we've got other pages here. So by the looks of this could be a blog. So as you can see, it's a blog post or a blog page. Then we've got another area here where this is the different types of blogs that are available on luxury, leisure, and affluence. So there's a couple there to choose from. Now we've got other parts here as well, which is bookmarks. So there's bookmarks, there was the archive as well, and then this is the contact. So that's more or less what is being used now. We've got a couple of options as well on the search bar, and this, by the looks of it, could be a drop-down menu, or it could be the actual footer as well. So just the design, the overall design. So key points on web design or website design is your visual design, your user interface, which is UI. So that's focusing on the presentation of what the website looks like. And then next you have your user experience, which is UX. And this is the overall user experience, and you're considering factors such as ease of navigation, information, architecture, accessibility, and usability. So the way to do that would be to conduct user research and creating wireframes and prototypes, which we have in front of us. Now, it's not just Figma that is the available software. There are plenty of ones to choose from, or you can do it with pen and paper. And lastly, what's important with the web design or website design is to have a responsive design. Now, you want to make sure that this website is compatible with not only desktop, not only the tablet, but also the mobile device. So since that is the most used device, you want to make sure that it's compatible with different screen sizing and it renders well across it. But yes, overall, that is what website design is all about. And of course, when you do reach the end product, that's when you need to do a major amount of testing, but that would be on the developer side, not the UI or UX designer side. Now, moving on to the website development. Website development would involve the technical implementation of the website design and functionality of the website. Now, it focuses more on coding, programming, and the server-side operations is required to bring the design to life. Now, the developers typically work on the back-end server-side and the front-end client-side aspects of the website. Now, what's great is we do have a several amount of different platforms that are available to us in order to create the websites that we have today. And there's multiple ways of creating a website. So this would be the first step of doing it, or one of the different methods of doing it, which is to actually do it completely scratch, front-end development and back-end development. So front-end developers would work on the client side of the website and would be responsible for implementing the visual and interactive elements of the design using HTML and CSS, and of course JavaScript. Now, if you're comfortable with using other ones like Node.js or PHP, by all means you can work away at it. Now, what these developers would do, what our front-end developers, they would make sure that the website is compatible across different browsers and devices. And on top of that, they want to ensure that everything is working cohesively and that there's no type of issues that is to occur when the website is live. Now, as I've stated, this is one of the ways of doing it, which is to actually use a development tool that we have here, which is Visual Code. And you can see that it uses PHP, CSS, or also known as CSS, and of course we also have our WooCommerce, and our Node.js. So this is what this website's using, and that is the backend code, or this is the backend code for the LLA website. Now, what's great as well is the fact that we do also have the option to use a CMS, which is a content management system. So right in front of us, this is a development tool called Wix. Now, this is a website builder online. And what's great about this is it requires no coding skills at all, and you're pretty much able to drag and drop any sort of elements that you want, and you're able to create visually appealing websites. And you've also got the likes of Squarespace. So this is another website development tool, as you guys can see. So you're able to create any sort of website. So there's a portfolio, you've got personal TV, you can do food, entertainment, so quite a couple of options in that side of development. So back into the coding aspect of it, you also have to focus, as well as the front end development, the back end development. Now, what back end developers usually handle is the server side operations, the database management, and the business logic that power the website. Now, you can't just have a front end development without a back end development, or else the actual website won't run. So think of it as you have the body of a car, but you don't have the engine. So the engine is your back end development, and of course your front end is the shell of the car, which is your seats, your paint, your steering wheel, things like that, what makes it function. So as well as that, you have quite a couple of things to consider. What actual programming tool are you going to use? Are you going to be using CMS, which is a content management system? And we have the likes like Drupal, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, Shopify. Or are we going to build this website completely from scratch and work with it with the front-end web developers? Are we going to be using this website as an e-commerce platform? Are we going to add an e-commerce functionality? So of course that would involve implementing shopping carts, payment gateways, inventory management systems, and order processing functionalities to enable online transactions. So of course, if you want to integrate banking onto that, then that would be an important feature. Then you would have to consider as well the security. So that's SSL. What certificates are you going to use in order to protect the website and to actually have encrypted data passing from one side to another? So there's a lot to consider when building a website. So the development aspect of the website build is more complex than the actual website design, just because the amount of hours that's used to process the actual functionality of the website will take time. But yes, quite a couple of things to consider. So you also have performance optimization as well. So that's one thing. If you're running an e-commerce site or a non-e-commerce site, you want to make sure, regardless of what site you've made, that you check on the website speed, performance, security, and you employ techniques like caching, minimizing file sizes, even try to reduce the code that you have, implementing security measures to protect against vulnerabilities. So quite a lot of things to consider when you are doing some web development. But there you have it, guys. As you can see, website design and website development are two very important processes in order to create a website, whether it be it non-e-commerce or a e-commerce website. Now, it's important to note that website design and web development often go hand in hand with designers and developers. So two of the developers are, of course, collaborating to ensure that you have a seamless integration of design and functionality. Now, there's no point, of course, making something that won't work, and you have to be fair on the developers as well. If you are a UI UX designer, and of course, as a web developer, you need to try to fulfill what the UI and UX designer has created to see if that will function, as well as looking well on design. So, just a reminder, successful websites require a balance between good design and solid development, and that ensures an aesthetically pleasing, user-friendly, and functional online presence. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did, please do leave us a comment in the comment section below. We'd like to hear what you think. But other than that, I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.